It's Antonio Muñoz De Mesa.
That's it.
Okay. I'm here with Antonio Muñoz De Mesa, writer and director of Santa Zeta. Absolutely love this movie. I guess we'll just start with the easy stuff. What kind of brought this movie together and what got the idea churning in your head to make this?
Yes, I wrote a script that I couldn't shoot because it was like 2 million, and we only had like 300,000. And I've always wanted to, because I had an episode of child abuse in my family. I've always wanted to reflect that thing that happened in my family in a very genre way, like revenge, the joy of revenge, the unforgivable things, the speed over my grave thing, that kind of stuff. But I wanted to draw an arc so the audience could get and deeper in the family. At the beginning, it's more like lightweight, entertaining, even a little cartoonish. But little by little, she's discovering what happens inside her, and I love the YouTube language. For me, it's like because we didn't have money to have more characters. I thought that the audience could be the other character when she's vlogging in the YouTube style.
And so you said you had a budget before you had the script. How does that work?
Well, I had some investors that only could give us like $300,000, and I wrote a script if I wanted to do it right, it was like $2 million euros.
Oh,
So
so real quick, just so I'm clear, the investors basically invested on you. It's like whatever movie you want, where you're cool, go for it. And it just happened to turn out to be this one.
no, I pitched them the first script,
Oh,
but I
okay.
didn't know it was going to be that expensive. So I talked to them. I said, I wrote this. I think it's good, and they loved it, but they couldn't give us more support. So I told them I have this story in the back of my head all the time, and I think we can have a great production value if we travel because she's an influencer, a travel influencer. So 3 continents, 18 dates of shooting, and we design it so well that because when it rains in LA, something happens. That that I think that the movie is like you have this value of production like traveling, but at the same time it's very easy to do because we were just 7 people, run and gun style guerrilla, and it was beautiful. It was an adventure shooting this way.
Yeah. There was that scene where she's looking for the Miley Cyrus star. Did you have to gain permits for that, or you're like, nope, we're getting the camera, we know what we're doing, and just getting what we can?
Yeah, we didn't ask for any permits. So if the movie sells in Spain or whatever, we're working with some lawyers for the clearance and maybe ask for permission after, or maybe because she's a YouTuber, we can like pixelate some things and we'll work it out. But the thing is that she were discovering the city, Seoul, Los Angeles, at the same time that the character was, because she had never flew out of Spain. So the main actress, the character, I told her, why don't we play this game as real as possible? The first time here in Hollywood Boulevard, in the Hall of Fame, in the Chinese theater, just play it like it's real for you.
Do you got speaking of that, going back with the lawyers and like blurring out stuff, do you have like backup footage, like in case like you can't get something cleared? And it's like this was
Uh,
my first choice, but since we can't have that in the movie, we'll go ahead and plug this in instead.
no, I don't have backup footage. So maybe it's the first time and the last time you see this movie.
Well, move some because usually, like when you're working on low budget, because you do the movie kind of goes to a bunch of different places, as you said. Do you have any sort of like free production value? Like, oh, I knew someone that worked here, so like it was a lot cheaper than it would have been otherwise had you just went to a random place where you didn't know anybody.
No, really, it was really run and gun. I was in Seoul like 4 days before the crew came, and I was locating scouting with a director of photography that I met by Instagram because he studied in New York Film Academy. He is South Korean, and I studied in New York Film Academy too. So we had the same language, but we were like film day by day discovering some of the sequences even are improvised. Like we saw in Seoul a church, and we said the actress get into that church and pray for you'll find a store with a very expensive thing in Seoul. So we didn't have that in the script. We have the arcs, but not the places. The places some places we had fixed, but others we were discovering while shooting.
Oh, that's fun. And what was the pre-production on this like? Because like run and gun is like cool and all, but like people don't know their lines or they don't know what they're doing. You can run into a lot of trouble doing that.
Yeah, well, the pre-production was short, but because we were only 7 people, we were like a family and we were all doing the same stuff. So we knew what we wanted. As I said, the arc of the vlogging thing, because the vlogging was, I wanted to be real for you, as I said, and a YouTuber goes sometimes as pre-production, but sometimes it's discovering where while she's walking. So we were taking more care of the light, the shots, and the locations in the classic narrative thing, not in the vlogging. In the vlogging, she was filming herself
Yeah.
too. We had
What
3 cameras at the same time.
what was the casting on this like? Because it nailed it as far as I can tell. Like all the characters and all the actors, and it just nailed their characters.
Yeah, thanks for saying that because I'm happy about I have a theater company I'm an actor myself and a playwright, so I know many actors that we're like family for us. So Nekani, the main character, is my student because I teach writing for actors in Madrid, in Spain. But the other actors were working for me like for 20, 25 years in theater, so I know them very well. I
So
wrote for
that's
them.
so that's interesting because like I've always heard of like Ben Affleck. He's like a real good director, but he's also an actor. So actors like working with him. What is it about you having a background in acting that helps with your directing that just a director that doesn't have a background in acting might not have?
Yeah, I think acting is like a gift. If you're not a egotistic actor, like I'm feeling all the things, you have to take care of me, I'm a sensitive species. If you're out of that, acting is a gift because you you know that actors usually improve the lines and the dialogue, and usually improve the blocking of the director because they have these organic thing, like it's more natural, it's more true, it's more in the present here and now. So having an actor background, I can listen to the actors without fixating I don't know, authority. No, I know what I want, and you have to be. So it's beautiful. It's like a little bit like light in theater.
Yeah. And for this next question, if there's any spoiler stuff, we can push it towards the end. But usually with limited budget, you have your script, and then you start shooting, and you get to a part, and it's like, I would love to shoot the scene, but we don't have the time or money. Like, was there any stuff that you had to cut out of the script that didn't quite make it to the movie?
No, because I have to be honest with you, we started without a script. So I told
Oh,
them I did it the other way around. I write, so for me, it was the first time I did this. I did some research and I thought, well, a lot of filmmakers did this, so I think we can do it. So for me, I had the arcs and what happened, but I was writing like 2 days in advance for the actors and the crew. And they were discovering the movie while I was discovering because I knew what would happen, but not how. So, for example, in the death of Thaddeus Ginger with the hamburgers in the kitchen or whatever, I didn't know how until I was here in Los Angeles and I thought, why not with hamburgers? Because it's like a fast food thing that could be a cultural wink to him. And that was also very funny because they trusted that I could find a solution. But I was writing like 2 days in advance and giving sequences all around. And for me, I love that way, but I prefer having a close script for the next movie.
man, the more you talk about this, the more I'm scared for you because it seems like you just keep playing with fire like all through production. But I mean, it turned out well. Where's that kind of confidence come from? Because I mean, the movie turned out great, but like all the stuff you're saying as far as like production, there's like a ton of risk in what you're doing.
Yeah, because we knew each other so well that we have worked together for so many years that they knew that we could do something that worked. Yeah. We
Excellent.
trusted each other, yeah. And she was my student for 3 years. She knew my style, but as I said, I think this is the last time I will do that. No need to suffer.
I mean, hey, if it works, maybe that's just your filmmaking style. What are you gonna do? Don't know, but it's gonna be awesome. Let's go. So
I
what
hope.
what kind of release plans you got for this? Good. I know it's planned at Slam Dance pretty soon, and then are there any release plans after that?
We have now the San Diego Latino Film Festival in March, and then we have, because it's a Spanish movie, we have the Spanish television, national television. She's reviewing if she buys it, and then we'll do the releasing in just one weekend in Spain, and then platforms. We need distributors and whatever. But in Spain, I think we're gonna. They have much interest in buying the movie for platforms. But I'll be just one week in Spain in cinemas.
Yeah. What's the business? Because I'm not too familiar with the business end of making movies. But do you basically get these movies like sold before it's even done, or what kind of business stuff is in place, like behind the scenes sort of thing?
Yeah, for this movie, we didn't have any pre-sales, but in Spain, they have the movie before they shoot. They have it paid with state money and with distributors close. But this is so do-it-yourself, so independent that we just took the risk. And but I show them to distributors, and they're like ready to distribute the movie. In Spain, before they shoot, they have all the money, all the pre-sales, everything for the most part of the production movies there.
Yeah. And also so this I mentioned Promising Young Woman, but this also has like a not really the same look, but same kind of setup as like Ms. 45. Like anytime someone or a thriller, a cruel picture, or something like that, where like someone gets abused and then they, turn on their abuser and just like, wreak havoc, and it's awesome. Yeah, are there any movies like that that kind of inspired this one?
For me, I was very for me it was like a mini Kill Bill that you have a list of three people, and but also anime because I watch a lot of anime and I was watching like Demon Slayer. Now I'm watching Frieren, and I like the way that they dilate time, so the slow motion, and when they stop the narration, for example, the black and white little stories that gives like purpose or even humane the villains. For me, more than movies, it was anime, like Japanese anime.
What is it about the anime that kind of speaks to you?
For me, it's the mix of languages. It's like they dare to mix a lot of weird stuff. So the YouTube vlogging, the black and white little stories, the classic narration, and how they dialogue these kind of different styles. At the beginning, it's like, oh, what am I watching? Even in some animes, at the end, you're very into it, and at the end, after the credits, they have these humorous sequences where it's like funny, even silly. I was very attracted to it, like Attack on Titan or Death Note, those mangas that afterward there were animes. I was very inspired by them.
Yeah. And how do you manage tone with this? Because like I said, the material is dark, but there's enough levity to it. But like the anytime a movie kind of mixes like wildly different tones like this, it can go off the rails real easy. And then sometimes like with this movie, you just like nail it. Like what's the secret sauce there?
I think it was like a lot of hours editing in the editing room. And because I had the whole movie in my head, I did this. It was what kind of movie would I like to see with this material as an audience? So I was editing as if someone gave me this material and what movie would I wanted to see. Because the script was not, I wrote the script at the end when I finished the movie. When I finished editing, I wrote the script.
Yeah.
I just had sequences.
And what was I don't even know if you can talk about this, but what was this movie originally supposed to be? You said you had another script that was like 2 million and you couldn't do it. Or is that something you're just putting away and maybe do later?
Yeah, I'll do it later. I got translated to English, and it's a very different movie, but we love it too. It's a little girl that disappears for 7 hours and then appears again in an eclipse, and it's about the family is like realizing that she's not her daughter, but a copy, and it's about how can I let her go because she's not my daughter, and for something that happened. I worked with astrophysicists and all that kind of people that told me about some theories of the universe is copying itself all the time, like a hard drive or a server. So sometimes with interruptions like the multiverses and anything, you can end up with a copy and it's very different and it's like not sync, and then she gets ill. But for me, it was like, how can I let someone that I love go? And and we'll see if we can do that.
Oh, shoot. If I come across $2 million, I'll send it to you and you can start shooting. That sounds awesome. I do want to get into some spoilers, but before that, we'll just go ahead and wrap this part up. I just want to get a couple movie recommendation from you, either a movie that's personal to you or a movie that you think is really good and not enough people watch.
Movies, well, yeah, it could be like classics or
It can
like
be
for
anything. It
yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah.
it can be Spider-Man, it can be Vampire, it can be anything.
Yeah, for me, a movie that I go back again and again is The Third Man, like the Carl Reed, Orson Welles, because of the expressionism and the kind of complex villain, and even the composition of the of the shots. And I saw a movie that is really, really crazy, but I don't know the title. But it's if you can see that movie, it's new, but it's not in cinemas. I don't have the title here. Maybe I'll send it to you later. But because it's like a group theater in Germany that tours, and one of the actors fall in love with Nazism and Hitler, and becomes like a Nazi while touring. So it's very controversial. It's very crazy, and it won like some awards in the because I came from the United Kingdom, from Lincoln, and we were in a festival. We won like best movie and audience award, but he won the most challenging movie, and I hadn't seen that in years. It's really crazy controversial, and you don't know exactly in the moral space that you are as an audience.
Excellent. And it looks like this will have its North American premiere on Saturday, February 21st, Slam Dance, and it'll be playing on slamdancechannel.com from February 24th to March 6th. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Excellent. So if you're in North America, you can watch it, and then please do so because the movie might not be that once it fully releases.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but Antonio, yeah, I absolutely love this movie, and congratulations, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Eric. It was great. I was watching your YouTube channel and the podcast, so I'll be watching you.
I'll disregard all that. But thanks.